Here's why Micahel B Jordan, Kanye West, and more celebrities were name-dropped at Sean Diddy Combs.
Sean Combs, known as Diddy, known as Puff Daddy, is about to stand trial in New York in May. Combs had his famous white parties.
So I moved to a new neighborhood and they were like, well, what's this guy doing moving here in East Hampton? I said, everybody, come on over to the house so y'all get to know me. You ain't got nothing to be afraid of.
Some of the alleged activity may have occurred in the later hours of those parties.
Kids have like an hour left because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to.
And there are a lot of questions. What he's exactly charged with, who's going to testify, what this case is going to look like.
Lawsuit filed by R&B singer Cassie.
Cassie describing the music mogul as a vicious, cruel, and controlling man.
The whole criminal case against Sean Combs starts with a civil case brought by his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
Micahel B Jordan just exposed the lengths Diddy went through to have control over Cassie. And guys, it's truly shocking. We are talking alaiving threats, car bombs, blackmail. If you can think it, Diddy allegedly was willing to make it happen to ensure he had complete control over Cassie. And allegedly, he did even worse things. So you better grab your seats as we dive into this shocking news coming out of Diddy's trial, because it is just shocking. Guys, it's official. Jury selection has finally started for Sean Diddy Combs' blockbuster trial, and boy did it kick off with a lot of drama. When I tell you the scene outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan was pure chaos, I mean it. The media swarmed the building, cameras flashing everywhere, and inside, 150 potential jurors were brought in and hit with a thick questionnaire. And this wasn't your average jury duty, oh no, they were grilled about everything. How much they knew about Diddy's case, their personal views on law enforcement, and even whether they've experienced themselves. The court is clearly trying to filter out any bias before things get rolling. But here's where it gets even crazier. These jurors were also handed a list with at least 190 names. Yes, you heard me correctly, 190. The list was packed with celebrities and public figures, and they had to mark down which names they recognized. That's practically half of Hollywood on paper. Now, let's just say some very familiar faces showed up on that list. Several jurors flagged that they recognized names like Kanye West, Mike Myers, Kid Cudi, Young Miami, and Micahel B Jordan. Now, they made it clear they don't personally know these celebs, but the fact that their names are even floating around in connection to this case has everyone raising their eyebrows. But here's where it gets spicy. While Rolling Stone confirmed that Micahel B Jordan won't be called as a witness, they also dropped the tea that back in 2015, Jordan and Cassie Ventura, yes, that Cassie, spent some time together. According to Ventura's bombshell lawsuit from November 2023, during a rough patch in her relationship with Diddy, she started a flirtatious thing with an actor. And surprise, surprise, that actor was Micahel B Jordan. When Diddy found out, he allegedly called Micahel B up and threatened him. The lawsuit even claims Micahel called Ventura in a panic, telling her, "You really need to call Diddy." Phew.
Diddy's BET Awards after party at BOA. Micahel B Jordan shows up to the party and they won't let him inside.
Why wouldn't they let you in?
What? They have capacity, you feel me?
Now, Michael's team is keeping quiet, no comments on the record, and Diddy has already denied the accusations from Ventura's lawsuit, which, by the way, was settled almost as soon as it was filed. But make no mistake, Ventura is still very much in the spotlight. She's expected to testify against Diddy in this case and is identified in court papers as Victim 1. Prosecutors say she was trafficked by Diddy from 2008 to 2018, and that timeline matches exactly with the dates she detailed in her own lawsuit. Guys, Diddy put Cassie through a lot, even when they were not together. You see, while Diddy was allowed to move on, Cassie wasn't. Diddy would get so possessive with her that if he no longer wanted her, she wasn't allowed to see anybody else. Diddy would allegedly get so jealous and threatened anybody who dared to move close to Cassie, and it wasn't just Micahel B Jordan he threatened. You see, back in 2011, Cassie had a thing with Kid Cudi, and prosecutors believe that Diddy attempted to unalive Cudi because of that. Diddy sent guys to blow up Cudi's car, but luckily enough, Cudi wasn't in the car when Diddy's goon got there. You see, Diddy and Cassie's deeply troubling relationship started way back in 2007 and dragged on until 2018, over a decade of pain, masked by flashy public appearances and luxury. While the world saw glitz and glam behind closed doors, the reality reality was far darker and more shocking than anyone imagined. In November 2023, Cassie Ventura finally broke her silence and filed a bombshell lawsuit accusing Diddy of physical, emotional torment, and even trafficking. Guys, the world was rocked to its core, but just as quickly as the case exploded, it vanished, settled out of court within 24 hours, leaving fans stunned and desperate for answers. But the truth refused to stay buried. In May 2024, things took a dramatic turn when CNN dropped chilling security footage from 2016 that showed Diddy violently assaulting Cassie in a hotel hallway. The video confirmed years of whispers and speculation, sending fans into an uproar. Faced with undeniable evidence, Diddy issued a public apology, calling his actions inexcusable. But let's be real, no one was buying it. The damage was done, and the world finally saw the terrifying reality Cassie had endured for far too long.
I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Now, even though this video exposed just how much of a monster Diddy was, the sad thing is, Cassie went through a lot worse behind the scenes. Cassie's longtime friend and makeup artist, Micahel Morales, once sat down with CNN and revealed just how dark things really were behind the scenes. She recalled a chilling incident during Grammy weekend in 2010 when she and Cassie were staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Well, I have kept this secret for like 14 years. I mean, the first time I experienced it was 2010, and I was in the hotel room when Puff came in, and I had no idea Cassie left. And when I woke up, I just saw his presence come into the room. They went into the bedroom and shut the door, and all I could hear is screaming and yelling and whatever was going on in there, I don't know. But all I could think of was to grab Cassie's things and start packing it up and just getting her out to safety.
According to Micahel, Diddy stormed into their room, furious and looking for Cassie. He dragged Cassie away, and after a heated argument, she returned with a bruised eye and a busted lip. The fear was so real, neither of them dared to speak up. "We were scared of Puff. We were always scared of him," Micahel admitted. "If we called the police, what would happen? He's a very powerful person in the business, and he can do things that will make you go away. And many people are afraid of him till this day. Now, if you thought Diddy's cycle of violence stopped with Cassie, think again, because get this, it extended to her friends as well. Fashion designer Brianna Bongolan, a close friend of Cassie's, filed her own lawsuit, detailing an absolutely terrifying encounter. In September 2016, after one of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties, things took a horrific turn. Brianna and Cassie were asleep in the same bedroom at Cassie's apartment when Diddy showed up, enraged, pounding violently at the door. In the chaos, Brianna urged Cassie to hide in the bathroom as Diddy continued to try and break in. Once he forced his way inside, Brianna ran to the balcony to escape, but Diddy followed. According to her lawsuit, Diddy charged at her and then did something unthinkable. He grabbed Brianna by the armpits and dangled her off the 17th floor balcony, screaming at her while holding her life in his hands. Cassie, hearing the commotion, rushed out to intervene. That's when Diddy, seemingly realizing there were more witnesses than he expected, pulled Brianna back from the edge. But the violence didn't stop. He then slammed her onto the patio furniture in a final act of brutality. This wasn't the first time the world heard whispers about this terrifying moment. Cassie's own 2023 lawsuit against Diddy described the exact same balcony incident, though at the time, she left Brianna's name out. Now, through her lawyers, Brianna was calling it what it is, pure terror. Her legal team wrote, "The only purpose of dangling someone over a balcony is to actually unalive them or to intentionally terrorize them and rob them of any concept of dominion over their own bodily autonomy and safety. It should be no surprise that is exactly what happened to Ms. Bongolan. Now Diddy, of course, through his legal team, has strongly denied every claim Brianna made, calling her allegations false and saying she has long wanted to sue him without merit. But the pattern, the stories, and now the lawsuits just kept piling up, and the world kept watching as more truths begin to surface. So because of all these unspeakable acts, last year, Cassie's bombshell lawsuit kicked off the storm that's now engulfing Diddy. After years of silence, she finally broke free and told her story, and it shook the entire industry. In her lawsuit, Cassie accused Diddy of trapping her in a decade-long cycle of and violence, using his fame and influence to keep her under his control. She was just 19 when she met Diddy, signing to his bad boy label, and what followed, according to her, was a nightmare hidden behind the glitz and glamour. In her complaint, Cassie claimed Diddy plied her with and alcohol, fueling dangerous addictions that made her easier to manipulate. And the allegations only got darker from there. The lawsuit laid out graphic, disturbing accounts of physical and emotional torment, revealing the terrifying reality behind closed doors with one of music's most powerful men. Cassie didn't hold back in her statement, saying, "After years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story." She painted Diddy as a serial domestic, detailing how he allegedly beat her so severely that she was left with black eyes, bruises, and blood. And in one of the most explosive parts of the case, she accused him of the R word, turning this into one of the most shocking lawsuits the entertainment world had seen in years. But things only got messier. Diddy immediately denied everything, claiming Cassie was trying to extort him for $30 million, threatening to write a damaging book if he didn't pay up. His lawyer, Benjamin Brafman, called the claims baseless and outrageous lies, dismissing the entire lawsuit as blackmail. But Cassie wasn't about to fold. Her attorney, Douglas Wigdor, hit back, revealing that Diddy had already offered her an 8-figure settlement to stay quiet, an offer Cassie refused. Then came the twist that left everyone stunned. Just one day after filing the lawsuit, Cassie and Diddy announced they had reached a settlement. Both sides issued carefully worded statements, fueling more speculation about what really went down behind the scenes. Cassie said, "I decided to resolve this matter amicably, on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support." Diddy's statement, short and smooth. "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." But as we all now know, that matter didn't get resolved, and now Diddy is looking at potentially spending the rest of his life in jail. Anyways, what do you all think about this extremely messy drama? Let me know your opinions in the comments. And don't forget to stay tuned because we have even more shocking revelations from Diddy's trial. Till next time, bye.